Hi, Pastor Mike here. It's March 24th, and we're in Philippians 1, verses 15 through 18. And I call this the good news for the wrong reasons. And I'm going to focus on verse 18. What then? Only that in every way, whether in pretense or in truth, Christ is proclaimed. And in that I rejoice. Yes, and I will rejoice. So Paul is writing this letter in prison to the Philippians, and I ask myself, and maybe you do too, how can Paul be joyful? The theme of this letter is joy, a major theme. And how can somebody in prison, and especially when we look at 15 and 6 through 17, people are proclaiming the gospel, some out of strife and envy, some out of goodwill. Their motivation is love. How can Paul be joyful knowing that the good news is being shared for the wrong reasons, at least for some of these people? Well, I think your focus has to be on a very one little word, and that is joy. And if we look at joy, there's a little acrostic I like to use, and it's J-O-Y. So the first letter of each of the word stands for something. So J is Jesus, and Jesus is first. And if we put our focus on Him, then the other things really don't matter. Second letter is O for others. So we focus on others. We sacrifice and we serve others. And then Y is yourself, which is the last letter. And so the last thing we want to do is focus on ourselves and our own situation and why we're suffering and struggling. How do we, as individuals, take our adversity, our suffering, and look and see what can the good come of that? And that's what Paul does, is he's realizing, because his mission was to proclaim the gospel to the Gentiles. He knew that the gospel was being shared, whether for the right reasons or the wrong reasons, the good news was being shared. So he's in this prison and he is joyful because the good news is being proclaimed, and that is his focus. So in the Old Testament, we look to the story of Joseph, and we know that Joseph's brothers sold him into slavery, and Joseph came out of that experience, and after his father died, his brothers thought, oh no, Joseph's going to get payback now, and he's going to take vengeance on us for the evil that we did against him. And Joseph says, no, what you meant for evil, God intended for good. And so one of the ways we stay focused and on joy is looking at our situation through God's eyes. How does God look at the situation we're in? What good is He trying to accomplish out of our adversity or our suffering? And I believe that's why, in this passage, Paul is able to be joyful, because he knows the good news is being preached for whatever reasons, and God is getting the glory. And so, all to the glory of God. Bye for now.